Daily Dose of Martens, April 20th, Monday. This one's going to be a little angrier. The past ones. I had a conversation with Principal Griffin on Friday. We talked about a bunch of stuff. But one of the things we kind of tapped into was during this time, people's view of fairness and sort of the counter argument to asking anyone to do anything where they look at it and say, why should I do more than this other person? This group is expected to do less. Why should I do more than them? I'm not going to do this unless I get an immediate credit for it. So I unpack, why should I do more than the next guy? Because that's the only way that anyone has ever succeeded beyond the next guy. That's why. You do more than the next guy because it puts you ahead of the next guy. And that isn't, and I appreciate that even during this time, people are doing more than this classwork. And I anticipated that some people wouldn't complete everything or would struggle to get things done on time. And everybody's trying to be really cool about that. But I'd be lying if I didn't tell you that I'm really disappointed in the people that have chosen to do nothing. To be 16 years old, 17 years old, and decide that you've already learned everything you need to learn, that the only point of doing everything was to make sure that you did as much as the next guy. Wow. Griff and I were talking about it in kind of a sports context. My son is a football player. He's home. The spring practices were all canceled. Spring game was canceled. Summer is at the very least going to be delayed. When he's in school, he has weight training and conditioning every day. He has film study meetings like 3 times a week. And none of that is available, or none of it is any longer required, right? So what could he do? He could do as much as the next guy. Some of the people that are on his team have done little to nothing, and they don't have to. They're not required to. There's no accountability piece for it. The NCAA has rules that don't let teams hold students accountable for time outside of when they're with their coaches, and they've suspended all coach activities. So they're like legally not allowed to require them to do the work, which is even a greater sort of gap than this hold harmless thing that we have for the grades. But he has trained, worked out, conditioned for a minimum of 3 hours every day since he's been home. 3 hours a day. Why? Because he wants to beat out the next guy. Because he recognizes that he's in a competition. Now, you might not see that you're in one, but you're in a more consequential one than he is. You're in a competition against more people than he is. He's got like 3 quarterbacks in the room. You've got an entire world of 16 and 17-year-olds that are competing for scholarships, college applications, later on in jobs, that sort of thing. This is like the competition of life that you're in the middle of. And so you should do more than the next guy, because if you do, you'll end up ahead of them. This is an opportunity for an advantage that people have, because the only thing separating one person from the other is self-determination, personal discipline, commitment, determination. And you're all capable of having those things. So stop thinking about about making sure that you're doing just as little as the next person, and start thinking about how readily available the opportunity is to do more. That's it.